this was very disturbing. David Cronenberg film. Guess which one? Yes.
Videodrome.
No, I have seen Videodrome. That's
Shivers.
a classic. No.
The one where heads explode.
No, it wasn't Scanners.
Scanners.
It was a body horror film, but I don't think you're going to get it. It's a very it's seen as being one of his best films, but it's not a famous one. Dead Ringers.
Oh, I've heard of that
Dead
one.
Ringers. Originally it was called Twins,
Oh yeah.
but it came out at the same time as the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito film Twins,
yeah,
so they
yeah,
had to rename it Dead Ringers. I quite like Dead Ringers as a title.
That's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got obviously double meaning, you know. Dead ringers for each other, and also there's the word dead. Yes.
Oh, how brilliant.
So, Dead Ringers is most famous for having one of the best performances of all time.
Oh yeah.
With Jeremy Irons.
Oh yes. But from Dungeons and Dragons.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes.
My favourite film.
Yes. I've never seen Dungeons and Dragons.
I would highly recommend Dungeons and Dragons to everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
I've only ever seen little bits of his performance. Is he in the film a lot?
He has about 25 minutes of screen time.
Yes. Is he worth watching? Is he worth watching just for that? Is it worth watching just for him?
Well, to be fair, the whole film's really funny because when Jeremy Irons is in it, there's like a bald guy with blue lipstick.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So like, in the time that Jeremy Irons isn't there, there's always the bald guy with blue lips.
Yeah.
To keep you going.
Yeah.
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 I would highly recommend Dungeons and Dragons.
I highly recommend Dungeons and Dragons as a good film. But Dead Ringers, Jeremy Irons plays both brothers, Elliot and I can't remember the other one, Beverly. Emily and Beverly. Yes. They're twins, they look identical, played by the same person, Jeremy Irons, and they live a very codependent, disturbing lifestyle, where the more confident one, because they're gynecologists, so there's the horror of that as well.
Oh god.
They're both gynecologists, and one of them, the more confident one, gets women and like goes on the first date, and then the other one replaces him. And they live together, and they have this bizarre, disturbing, codependent relationship. So they know they can act as each other really well. So they have this relationship where one of them meets women for the other one, and the other one takes over and has sex with them.
Okay.
So they basically identify each other from the other one. It's like that. But then they meet this woman who's like an actress, and she's a famous actress. But she gets to know them so well she can tell them apart.
Okay.
And it completely wrecks their entire relationship because they define each other by the other one. And then when someone can recognise them, they start thinking about how they are actually two separate people, and it completely destroys them. That's the crux of the film. All of that other stuff happens in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they basically go insane. Oh. There's a hellish moment where, because they invent gynecological equipment as well. They're sort of like the best gynecologists in the world. And like there's a bit where Beverly, Jeremy Irons, invents these new gynecological instruments. One of which looks like a drill. It's like a triangle with holders, and it's made of gold, and it has a swirling bit at the top.
No.
And there's a bit where he goes insane. The less confident one turns to drugs because he just can't identify who he is. It's a really moving film, all about identity. But yeah, there's a bit where like he goes like. He's high on pills, and he goes into the gynecologist area wearing like a full smock, and there's a woman there, and he's like, "Give me the new instruments." And then he's holding these instruments up, and he's about to do it. They stop him in time, but it's horrible. It's like about to shove these hellish looking equipment in, and like. But Jeremy Irons is really subtle in the film.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's just stunning because, like, they both look exactly... They don't do the stupid thing that most films would do, where one of them's bald or something.
Oh, has like an eye patch.
Yes. You know, like, or a scar.
Yeah.
They look identical, but just from the way he performs in the film, you can literally just look at them and know which is which.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, you see, because I've been watching a BBC TV series recently called Orphan Black.
Oh, yes.
Which is very similar. All about clones, and there's, like, one actress, who she plays about 6 or 7 different clones, and it's the same again, where like they don't. She's visually different, because the characters grew up in different locations, but just by the way she acts, you can tell they're all different. It's amazing what the actors can do these days, isn't it?
Yes. Like there's a bit where he's playing. He's pretend. Elliot's pretending to be Beverly, and he's walking up, and there's nothing in the film to identify which is which. But straight away, like, oh yeah, that's Elliot, just by the way he presents himself. It's just an absolutely stunning performance from Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
And like, I was reading a thing about how difficult it must have been because the film, I'm assuming, wasn't shot in chronological order.
Yeah.
To know exactly because they have completely different emotional arcs and stuff. They go in completely different directions, and like, just to be able to keep in his mind where each one is each time must have been just an amazing feat. It's all directed as well in like the sort of Cronenbergian style. Icy and cold.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen any like body horror Cronenberg films?
I've seen Videodrome.
It's a great film.
That's a really good film. That's body horror. And did David Cronenberg do Crash?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought Crash. I haven't watched it yet. But I've got it coming in the post.
There's a really weird part where what's the actor called?
David Spader.
Not
David Spade.
David Spader. He tries to have sex with like a woman's scarf.
Yes, I've read the book.
Oh yeah.
The book is a classic. J.G. Ballard.
Well, the film is interesting.
The book isn't even like his best or even most controversial book.
Really?
Yes, his most controversial book is called The Atrocity Exhibition.
Oh.
That's where that Joy Division song came from.
Yes.
But yeah, the book is amazing. But yeah, Dead Ringers. It's sort of, there's no horror in it in a way, but it's horrific and disturbing. There's a really intense bit where like he has a dream where him and his brother are connected by conjoined twins.
Oh yeah.
And then the actress eats the bit that connects them, and he's like screaming, and she's like, oh wow, like the thing. It's a really disturbing film. It's really intense. It's quite hard to watch the whole thing.
No.
Obviously, because it involves the horror of gynecology with blood instruments.
And Jeremy Irons is the gynecologist.
And yes, yes, it's well worth watching. There's some really eerie, because it's more about identity and codependence than a horror film.
Okay.
There's a really great bit in it where the confident one, Elliot, goes to a hotel and he gets these two prostitutes who are twin prostitutes. And then he asks one of the prostitutes to call him Beverly, and he wanted to call him Elliot.
Okay.
Because it's basically about these two people who have no sense of who are defined by each other.
Yeah.
So when their scent goes down, but yeah, he's basically forcing one of them to think he's the other one, while having sex with both of them.
Oh god.
It's a really, really eerie, creepy film. But it's a classic as well. It's one of. I think it's probably one of his. I've not seen many of his films. I've seen Eastern Promises and A History of Violence.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Well, they're famous for being like not like his other films at all.
Yeah, nothing like it. Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen History of Violence. I've seen Videodrome. I've seen Crash. I think that's it. I've got Scanners. I've got the Scanners trilogy box set. Yeah.
But this is like, he's known for that kind of remove. Like Kubrick, he's got the same sort of accusations of being cold. But this film works because it is something you can identify with. That idea of like a lack of identity, and it also has like an incredibly moving performance. You've got like an emotional investment in it. It's considered to be like either this or The Fly or possibly Crash as seen as his best film.
Crash, yeah.
Did you enjoy Crash?
First time I watched Crash, it was like I was first seeing. It was like the second film we watched in film studies.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, I've never seen anything like that. I just hated it. I watched it a second time because I wanted to show my friends like how weird it is. But then I actually thought it was a pretty good film.
Yes.
I really liked it. I think if I watched it a third time, I'd even call it a great film.
Yes.
Because in the same kind of way that the characters are, they're quite cold and quite removed. Like the only way you're going to gauge any understanding of characters' motives is through their sexual needs. The characters don't display any of the characterization, and there's no life outside of what it is that they do.
Yes.
And I didn't know that people could get off on car crashes.
No.
Apparently they can.
Yes.
But better than the other Crash.
Better than the other Crash.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'd probably enjoy it because I've read the book. The book is very cold. Well, the book is weird because it's all taken from the main character's point of view. So you've got a lot more. The book is more extreme than the film, apparently.
Oh.
The book is quite. It's much more graphic.
Right.
Like my penis inserted into her bloody gash, and then I came all over her. Yeah, it's all like. It's very, very sort of extreme.
Explicit.
Explicit, yes.
50 Shades of Grey ain't got nothing.
What?
50 Shades of Grey ain't got nothing.
No.
No.
But yes, so Dead Ringers I would give a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
It's an amazing, amazing film. but it does get hard to watch, especially towards the end where the brothers just completely break down. And but yeah, go and watch Dead Ringers. It's very underrated. I like a lot of Cronenberg films. The DVD's quite hard to find.
Oh yeah.
Crash is out of print now.
Is it?
I bought it for £4 on eBay, which is cheap.
Yeah.
But the next cheapest one was about 15 quid.
Jesus.
It's a really rare film now, but I've got it, so I'll be watching that and watching it again. I want to watch The Fly as the one.
I want to watch The Fly. Yeah.
The Fly is considered his best film by most people.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yes. But yes, Dead Ringers is a classic. Go watch it. It's the best Cronenberg film I've seen so far, but that's not saying much.